La tierra de Borinquen, donde nacido yo. This is the opening line to La Borinqueña, Puerto Rico's national anthem. It was written by the poet and revolutionary Lola Rodriguez de Tio, and both of those versions of her live within me. Hola, my name is Marielena Marroquin, y yo soy Boricua. Wow, it sounds like we have some fellow Boricuas in the house. Although I've never grown up in Borinquen, the island lesser known by its Taino name, you might know it as Puerto Rico, I feel as Boricua as they come, almost as if the sounds of the coqui were my lullaby. You see, like many people growing up in the diaspora that is apart from our homelands, I'm culturally Boricua. I grew up celebrating Santa Claus y los Tres Reyes Magos, the three wise men. I grew up saying the Pledge of Allegiance y cantando Que Bonita Bandera. But most importantly, I grew up eating arroz con gandules para Thanksgiving. Eating rice and pigeon peas for Thanksgiving. I invite you to think with me. Think of the most famous Puerto Ricans you know. And I don't count, I'm not famous yet. But maybe J-Lo? Do you remember the 2019 Super Bowl halftime show when a New York-born Puerto Rican carried the flag with so much pride? Yes. Or maybe the Honorable Sonia Sotomayor, the first Latina appointed to the Supreme Court. She, like Jenny, is from the block. From the Bronx. Yeah. Or maybe Jasmine Camacho Quinn, a South Carolina native, Olympian, and gold medalist, competing for Puerto Rico in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. I still get teary-eyed when I think of La Borinqueña and the Puerto Rican flag during the medal ceremony. This woman, just as American and just as Puerto Rican as myself, representing my little island in the middle of the Caribbean. Roy Brown Ramirez Jr. said it best for all of us. Yo sería borinqueño aunque naciera en la luna. I would be borinqueño even if I was born on the moon. That's right. You know, diasporic communities have found ways to preserve culture, to remember. Amidst assimilation, we have found ways to remember. But this hasn't always been the case. For my family, that imposed assimilation was cemented in May of 1983, when my grandmother, Carmen Andujar Irizarry, moved to the United States. They explained to her that here we customarily take our husband's name when we get married. So, my grandmother, she's a natural rule follower. I don't think she's ever broken a single rule in her life. She did as she was told. She changed her name. Carmen Nieves it was. When the children started school in the fall, they also changed their names. You see, my grandmother had left her job, her family, her community, and she wasn't going to make it any harder for her kids to get along in the streets of New Jersey. Even though we had a great Puerto Rican community, she felt defeat, erasure, assimilation. And that assimilation continued when my parents, Edwin Daniel Marroquin Palma, and my mother, Marisol Nieves Andujar, named me, Marielena Marroquin. No Nieves. And what's in a name? Everything. You see, it's our connection to our past and our link to our legacy. I'll let you in on a little secret. Since my grandmother's rematriation, she changed her name again, back to Carmen Andujar Irizarry. She might not see it, but I see it as a great act of civil disobedience. And that's been the duality of people growing up in the diaspora. We're not American enough to be American, and we're not Latino or Puerto Rican enough to be from our country of origin. And frankly, I'm okay with not being seen as American. The American dream is predicated on two things. First, the idea that we all want to participate in it. And two, that we whitewash ourselves, forget our culture, and assimilate. Since the late 1800s, the islands that make up Puerto Rico, did you know that Puerto Rico is actually an archipelago? Yeah, it's made up of 3 islands, 3 major islands. Borinquen, Vieques, and Cultura. They have been under political and military action. I want to talk about something a little quieter, a little bit more sinister, and what I believe is the final step to conquering a people. There is 5.6 million Puerto Ricans living in the United States today. Cultural erasure is the final step to colonization. And let us not forget that all of us have a duty to 3.1 million Puerto Ricans living on the islands today. Puerto Ricans, all United States citizens who live disenfranchised, who lack representation in Congress, who are forced to live with regular blackouts, and who are taxed astronomically. It is our responsibility to stand up for the people of Puerto Rico, their freedom, and our beautiful islands. Now, I don't remember the first time I visited Puerto Rico. I was too young. But I'm 100% sure that it ignited for me this passion for island life that is nothing short of magical. You see, I have this personal theory that you truly haven't lived until you experience the Puerto Rican sun on your skin, or the pristine waters that refreshen not just your body, but also your soul. Let me be very clear. We do not want, nor will we stand for a Puerto Rico without Puerto Ricans. We have not gotten here overnight, but we can start now to reclaim, to hold on to legacy. It didn't start with the changing of our names. It started with laws, such as the Jones-Shafford Act, signed into law on March 2nd of 1917. This act of Congress did a couple of things. The first one, it limited the island's ability to trade. 2, it limited voting rights for Puerto Rican citizens. And 3, it granted United States citizenship to Puerto Ricans living on the island, just as the United States was entering into World War II. This made men eligible for the war, and every war since. Or laws like Law 53, la ley de la mordaza, or the gag law. This made it illegal to possess a Puerto Rican flag, to display a Puerto Rican flag, to sing songs about patriotism, to talk about the island's political status. Let me be very clear, this was a direct attempt to silence the growing independence movement. Let me put it into perspective. When my grandparents were born, it was illegal for them to have a flag of their own nation. So yeah, after 10 years of prohibition, Puerto Ricans will forever display their flag. But it wasn't until we had a trace of this imperialism. You see, the original color of the flag is celeste, like the sky, light blue. And now it's been replaced with the flag to represent the navy blue of the Stars and Stripes. We can start reclaiming. We can start remembering. But how do we do that? Where do we start? There's this amazing artist. His name is Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio. Oh, but you might know him as his stage name, Bad Bunny. In his latest album, Debí tirar más fotos, he sings, quieren quitarme el río y también la playa, quieren al barrio mío y que tus hijos se vayan. No, no sueltes la bandera ni olvides el lelolay, que no quiero que hagan contigo lo que le pasó a Hawaii. They want to take away your river and also your beach. They want your neighborhood and for your children to leave. No, don't drop the flag. And don't forget the lelolay. I don't want them to do to you what happened to Hawaii. You see, the blueprint has been made, and we can start this rejection of assimilation right now. If you're looking for a place to start, let's start with being uniquely ourselves, Spanglish and all. 2, remember that every Puerto Rican, 9.1, living on and off the islands are a radical act of civil disobedience. Our colonizers have tried to erase us and quiet us, and I'm proof, and my friends are proof, that we're not going anywhere. And finally, let's have conversations like this one. Let's read, listen, and educate ourselves, filling the gaps that our US textbooks have failed to give us. If you're looking for a place to start, I encourage you to visit Bud PR. It's an organization dedicated to educating and talking about federal legislation that will lead Puerto Rico to a just decolonization process and independence. Now, I leave you with the words of Lola Rodriguez de Tio. Despierta, borinqueño, que han dado la señal. Arise, borinqueño, the alarm has been given. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Marielena Marroquin Nieves. Que viva Puerto Rico libre. Thank you.